Hi, I'm Chris from bikereview.com.au, and today I'm here at the Kyalami circuit for the Pirelli Diablo Rosso Corsa 2. So this is basically a totally new tyre. It's got a new carcass, it's got a 2-compound front, 3-compound rear, and it's just an awesome tyre. Basically, you're looking at what Pirelli are describing as a 50% track, 50% road tyre. So it's got much stronger road performance in a lot of areas. Not to mention, they've also beefed up the performance on the track, showing some considerable performance gains and times gains in comparison to the old Rosso Corsa. So that's really impressive. Obviously, this tyre is definitely aimed at people who want a really high performance track tyre, but also something that they can ride on the road as well. So weekend warriors, people who are looking at, quite high performance. So it's just a really great option if that's what you're considering. So there's a bit more background about the Diablo Rosso Corsa 2 and what to expect. It sits below the very race and track-centric options of the Super Corsa SC and the SP in Pirelli's lineup of the Hypersport tyres, and it's above the Rosso 3 as far as track performance. Obviously there's some trade-offs made there, so it's all about you as a rider picking the right tyre, and the Diablo Rosso Corsa 2 is designed for those who want really high performance on the track and also a viable road tyre. So it's going to be much more of a relevant choice if you're a high performance rider on the track than say the Rosso 3, without getting quite to the extremes of the Super Corsas, which are all out track realistically. Wet performance is something that Pirelli have improved on this tyre over the outgoing Diablo Rosso Corsa, and also they're claiming a 3-second faster lap time at Mugello with their test riders, 3-compound rear and 2-compound front. Basically what you've got is you've got the full carbon black compound on the shoulders of the tyre, so you've got heaps of grip. Moving in on the front, you've got a full silica center compound, so you've got lots of feel, you've got lots of grip. On the rear, there's actually a center compound, which is a 70% silica. So obviously a lot of road use is often when the bike's quite upright or obviously not at full lean. So in order to boost the kind of mileage you can get, because this tire is realistically intended for someone who's, not just doing track days, but also doing high performance road riding and using their bike, a bit more generally. So that's how they've managed to offer that additional road wear. They're not saying that the track wear is better than the outgoing tyre, but you have to look at it as they're providing extra performance, and in doing so, if the tyre wears at the same rate as the old tyre, which is what they're claiming and which certainly seems to be true from our testing, we got very good wear at the Kyalami track in South Africa. The consideration basically becomes that you're getting more performance, same level of wear. That is essentially better wear at the end of the day. Now, if you have a look at the full test at bikereview.com.au, you'll see kind of a more extensive write-up of the technical changes made to this tyre. So my impressions on the road of the Diablo Rosso Corsa 2 are basically that you've got a very nicely handling tyre. It doesn't fall aggressively onto its side like some sports tyres do. However, it's very neutral at the same time, so you're not having to muscle the bike over regardless of what kind of machine you're on. So that's a real boon because it just makes it a very fun, very nice tyre to ride. Grip was exceptional. We were testing out on a couple of different road surfaces throughout the ride, so that's also something that comes into it when you're not on the best road surfaces. There was plentiful confidence no matter what we were doing. Also, what was good is we did get an opportunity to test on wet roads. We managed to avoid the rain ourselves. However, what we did get to do is ride on some very wet roads. There was no really noticeable drop-off of confidence. Obviously, in the wet, you're riding slightly differently, but at the same time, I was at no point feeling like the tyre was restricting me, which is a really good sign because with it being such a high-performance tyre, quite often the wet grip is what you lose. Whereas, as Pirelli have represented here, this is a tyre that you can go out and, if it did rain on the track and you're doing a track day and you've paid all that money, you can keep going out. You're not going to be immediately thinking, I need to head in, it's just not worth it. So that's a real boon. It's also a real boon for when you're road riding because, you might be the kind of guy who goes out and has a real crack on the weekend. But again, you know, you don't want to be looking out seeing clouds and thinking, oh, it's not worth it, I just don't have the tyres if it really pours. Now switching to the track, I have to say these tyres warmed up really quickly. Quite often we were jumping on bikes which someone had ridden before us, but that wasn't always the case, and the warm-up time was really quick. Again, just having that really nice profile design and that balanced profile design between the front and the rear makes for a very linear and stepless transition onto the side of the tyre. Getting it over to full lean, there was just exceptional grip. I have to say, as someone who mainly rides on sports touring tyres, these tyres were just beautiful. The amount of grip and the amount of feel on offer on the track, especially on a new track where I'm learning and I'm not used to it, it was just exceptional. They're very well supported on the brakes, even trailing the brakes into a corner, which is important. There was no aggressive standing up of the bike as I rolled on the throttle, coming out of the corners as I still leant over. It just really is a very confidence-inspiring tyre, which is what you want. I'm not the fastest track rider, but there were plenty of much faster riders than me there who seemed to mirror my thoughts, obviously at a much greater level of riding experience. So I think it's pretty safe to say that these are an exceptional track day tyre. What Pirelli have been saying about the tyre is definitely true, and I think it's just going to be a great option. So if you've enjoyed using the Diablo Rossa Corsas in the past, this is a significant step forward pretty much across the board, and it's definitely something to look forward to when they arrive here in Australia in June. We don't have pricing yet. The range of sizes available is up at bikereview.com.au. Take a look. Definitely, if you're looking for a new set of tyres and you want that high performance track and road tyre and you need something in the next couple of months, I'd recommend hanging out for one of these sets of tyres, because honestly, I think you're going to be hugely impressed. And check out our full test at bikereview.com.au, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.